today we're going to be doing a smog delete or an air pump delete on a 1996 Ford F350. The air pump or smog pump is located down here beneath your alternator on the 460 gas motor. If we take a look here at Ford's little placard that they have, you can see that this guy, I don't know if that's picking it up, but it actually says air pump or idler. So we're actually getting rid of this entire thing, and we're going to also put on a shorter belt that'll bypass all that. What are the advantages of doing this? Some people say that you get more horsepower out of it. How much truth there is to that, I don't know. If there's anything, it's probably negligible. But the point is, you're taking some of the load off of the motor of what it actually has to spin. So there could be some truth to that you pick up a couple of horsepower. So we'll see. Here's the belt you need if you are removing the smog / air pump on your 96 F250, F350 with a 460 motor. I got this from Napa. It was about 34 or 35 bucks, I think. Another advantage of taking off the air pump or smog pump is that you get rid of some of these lines that are in here, some of these hoses, and I'll put a little screenshot up of the stuff that actually you can remove from here. With the 460, it takes up a lot of this engine bay. There's still a lot of room in here by today's standards, but it'd be nice to kind of clean it up a little bit and just have a little more room to work around. I'm thinking I'm going to be putting on some valve covers. So it'd be nice to be able to actually see them. Probably going to go with some chrome ones. Nothing fancy. First things first, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery just to be safe. Here's the air pump / smog pump. You're going to go ahead and unbolt the 3 bolts that are holding this pulley on right here. When you do it, you're going to need to hold on probably to this belt to keep everything from spinning while you're bolting that stuff. Hold it. Yeah. Next up, we're going to be removing the mounting bolts. I don't know if the camera's picking that up or not, but there's one right there. And if we go down underneath, there's another one. Right. Can you see that? Right there. To get this top one off, mine at least is pretty hard. There we are again. Anyways, this one's on there pretty good. It's a 9/16. What I did is I took a 9/16 wrench and then I got a cheater bar on it. And so now we're going to try to see if we can loosen her up. That thing is not moving. Let's go down further. Back to the drawing board. This is the bolt that came out. It's fairly sizable for what it is, for holding in just a little air pump like that. To make things a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and loosen up the alternator. I'm going to have to loosen that anyways whenever we go to put the new bolt on. So I'm using this 1/2-inch wrench, and I'll just loosen it, let it slide down, and hopefully give me a little more working room. As you can see, we got the alternator loosened up just by loosening this 1/2-inch nut there. So now we should be able to just pull this guy off and out of the way, thread it around the fan, and right back on the back of that guy, there's one that I think is a 1/2 inch. Kind of to get to. I used, or am using, 1/2 inch like this, and then it's got, you can see it's got a little bit of an angle on it. That helps me get back up in there, so might be useful for you. So this is the bolt that came out of the back of the air pump slash smog pump, 1/2 inch head on it. I don't know how long, it's probably 1.5 inches, something like that. Alright, we have now got our belt over the fan. You can kind of see down there on the crank, it's already hooked up. Water pump, it is on here. I've got the alternator nice and loose. Okay, so now that is on, and then we will jack this guy up. What I tend to do is a little trick like that. Anyways, you get the idea. Then tighten it up. Again, this is a 1/2 inch socket for tightening that. Now we're going to take off this little double pipe here. One looks like both lines are coming from the air pump, maybe, I don't know, but I'm taking this stuff off. There's a bracket holding these in place, and I think it's easier if we come down this way and get to it right in here. I'm using a 14mm deep set socket. Alright, now that pipe right there was connected to this guy, and what I ended up doing was down underneath I used the Sawzall and just cut. You see this metal pipe? This is the one that sits on top of the catalytic converter. This is the flex pipe that kind of sits somewhere around here, joins up with the other hard pipe that we looked at on top. So I just used a Sawzall, cut that guy off, and then on the bracket for the pipe on top of the for that bracket right there, I just used the pipe against itself, wiggled it back and forth, and pried that bracket open, and then and just wedged that pipe out. These are just some of the parts that come off from the emissions. I still got to block off the back of the manifolds with a, I think it's a 5/8 or a 3/4 MPT fitting, just threaded in there. And other than that, I think I've taken off just about everything that I can. So there it is in a nutshell. Air pump slash smog delete on a 1996 Ford F350. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a cold start on a 1996 Ford F350 with recent smog delete.